we started to pass the ball just with the sake of passing the ball, and it was too slow and too nice, and we passed the ball to score goals, and we have to go for the third and the fourth goal, and the game is over, and we didn't do it. And when you have the chance, obviously, with the penalty to do it, with the counter-attack situation that we had, with other situations, you have to kill it.
It would have been a good result getting a point, but going 2 behind and coming back, it shows great character. We had a really good win at Fulham last week. We've been away in midweek in Europe. So, you know, the games are coming thick and fast, and I have to say the players are doing a really good job. We're maybe not quite where we'd like ourselves to be, but we're beginning to pick up, and hopefully we can keep that going.
It feels like a victory. It's only 1 point, but, you know, the manner of the game and the importance of the game as well. You know, to come from 2 goals behind, get level and then nearly win it at the end, you know, it's a massive confidence boost.
We can do mathematically is give ourselves the best chance by winning matches and deserving to win matches. And today we played for 30 or 35 minutes, and it's not enough in this league.
Well, as he said there, I mean, after the first 35 minutes, you could only see an Arsenal win, couldn't you? They were in complete control.
Yeah, it certainly felt that way, and it was so impressive, especially given the fact that they were playing away from home. And as we were about to see, there were so many elements that sort of made that possible. But at 2, you're thinking, well, when's the third, when's the fourth coming? But, you know, very typical of Arsenal to start really well. All the key players getting the chance to put themselves on the ball. Saka isolating people out wide as well, but still they keep the ball moving. They like to create opportunities, and in this moment, you can see Ben White, the right-back in this instant, is this high. And everything seems like it's OK. West Ham are in good position, but it's just this fact that Benrahma, for a split second, loses his man. And at this level, you don't track a man one time, and before you know it, there's Jesus at the back post. It's a great run ball from Ben White as well. And then this as well. I think the way that they were able to manipulate the ball and go from being in a position where they almost look like they're in trouble to spreading the play and getting their danger men. Like Martinelli's been brilliant this season. He's brilliant in moments like this where he can go and take it towards the fullback. This first ball obviously isn't the best, but they recycle it. And this is interesting as well, seeing Tierney in the middle, given the fact Zinchenko's not there. And again, unfortunately for Benrahma, you need him to track his man. But unfortunately, the ball comes in, and sometimes when you're in the wrong spot, you hope somebody misses, but Odegaard's not going to be the person to miss that chance there. And as we said before the game, we were curious, with Zinchenko not playing, would Tierney come and play inside the middle? Well, yes he did, and he did it well in the first half, allowing the opportunity for someone like Xhaka to go out in those spaces like he has done in the past, but Tierney to come, get on the ball, move it around, and it felt very much like a almost standard Arsenal performance, which has been very good for them this year. But all that is possible because in this moment you see Martinelli and Saka. Those 2 players pin back the 4 defenders of West Ham. And then look, it's Gabriel Jesus and Tierney in the middle for Arsenal, but it all serves a purpose because as long as they have somebody in there, they can create moves like this and almost inject that energy. And at this point, Arteta would have been delighted.
And by overloading the middle there, which you see on the average positions in the first half, with Gabriel Jesus dropping in, Tierney in there, Xhaka in there, they create the overload.
Yes.
To then be able to hit them on the break.
Very much so. And it's at times they move the ball well side to side, but it's the fact they can break through. Gabriel Jesus is playing deeper than Odegaard, but you think Gabriel Jesus is the 9, but it all serves a purpose because for that midfield 3 for West Ham, they're constantly thinking, do I go here, do I not? Is this the right person? Is that the right person? And unfortunately, when you pick the wrong person, Arsenal tend to punish you.
And I suppose what changed, and actually Mikel Arteta said it himself, Jill, was that West Ham came out in the second half, they got the penalty back, but in the second half, they were aggressive, they were direct, and they actually gave it to Arsenal a bit.
Yeah, there was a massive change in West Ham's game, and I really think that Bowen was brilliant. Obviously, you'll see in the clips that I think from the first kind of 5-10 minutes, he's really on the front foot all the time. I think we're going to show the goal here. And I just thought that he was kind of the person that made the difference. If you look here, you will see the ball go in. It's a great ball over the top. And this for a finish, just to hit that into the ground. He could have easily kind of hit it too high. But I just thought it was a fantastic finish. And it was exactly what West Ham needed. And then here you'll see he's got the confidence to go one-on-one. Could Benrahma have maybe made a front post run or a back post run? He does neither, really. And you always say if you get in at that back post, that's 10 goals a season.
Yeah,
I think he kind of misses that opportunity. And then we spoke about Benrahma, obviously not tracking back. This is how you do it. Look at that from Bowen. It's important to do the work going forward, but as a winger, you have to do it going backwards as well. And then here you will see West Ham just really setting the tone, front foot, everybody. Sometimes as a forward, you put that work in, and it's usually the midfielder that wins the ball. But Arsenal here, I think they started to go long. Saka looks to go short. This is where he would want the ball, but it's in behind. And West Ham do absolutely brilliant here. Exactly what Arsenal would like to do, just keeping the ball 1-2 touch. Nedum, I don't know if
Yeah,
you
listen,
agree
a few
with
people
that.
were nervous as they were doing this because the Arsenal press was pretty high. But then, you know, it always looks nice when you break through it and can start the next attack, get the crowd going. Because in that moment, you're seeing Arsenal do something which is very uncharacteristic of them. But then next thing, West Ham are in the ascendancy, and I think you've got something to say about this one.
Yeah, well, Benrahma here, he does great, but Antonio, he runs in thinking he's going to get the first ball. Now he has to check back out. So if you look, this is a chance to go 3-2. He's now backtracking, and it's so hard to get power on your header. I just think if he recycles his run, he's running at that full pace. I think he could have made it 3-2.
Yeah.
And what happens, particularly, I suppose, with the threat of Bowen, is that all of a sudden you look at that Arsenal left side, Tierney and Xhaka are pushed further back. Even Gabriel Jesus has gone back there. And that completely changed their positions in that second half.
Yeah, because they start to worry about him. I think he did a lot of defensive work in the first half, and he's trying to help the full-back. Then he's trying to get up to the ball. Suddenly, he's given them something to think about, and I thought he had a fantastic second half.
Absolutely.
Just on the penalty that West Ham got at the end of the first half, there are two things that are debated here. Firstly, whether it was a Declan Rice handball in the build-up, and secondly, whether it was actually a penalty. We can see the whole incident first of all, and then we'll analyse each little bit. So the first question is whether that's the handball from Declan Rice, and then we'll come on to the challenge on Paqueta. Handball?
I didn't think so real time, and I think it depends which angle that you see. I don't see it being that clear, so as a consequence, I think the referee is fair to assume that it probably wasn't a handball. I think it's indicative of a good press by Rice at the start of that game, but again, you know, if you support Arsenal, of course it's a handball, but I don't know. It just literally depends which way you see, which essentially makes it inconclusive to the referee.
And then on the challenge, we've looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. If the ref's given it, VAR probably think there isn't enough evidence to overturn it. And that's what you're looking at, Jill, isn't it?
Yeah.
The knee on the foot.
On the laws of the game, there is contact. Is it soft? 100%. It's a soft penalty, but there is contact. There is contact.
Because it sort of looks like he's, as his first touch nearly sends it out for a goal kick, you're kind of thinking he may be going down first.
He's hoping for contact after that first touch, to be honest. So I think, yeah, there is contact, but I think it's such a soft penalty.
Right, this is going to be the standard Sunday chat between now and the end of May. How do you view the title race now?
Oh, well, there's an important game coming up soon. Yeah, it's interesting because at 2-0, I thought Arsenal were just showing their credentials yet again. I think they've been fantastic overall this season. I thought they were just going to run away with this game, but it's always a reminder that in this final third of the season, everyone's got something to play for. So as a consequence, no game is going to be easy. And it's not about the 35 minutes like Arteta said. It's about seeing it through all the way. So a lot of City people would be very, very happy. But the fact is Arsenal still technically have it in their hands.
How do you view it?
Yeah, I still think Manchester City for the title. I really do. The way they're playing at the minute, I can't see them losing a game from now till the end of the season. And obviously when you talk about goal difference, when you've got Haaland, is it even a question?
Does it depend where some of those fixtures that we saw fall in relation to, say, Champions League? If Manchester City and Real Madrid both get through, for example, Jill, City go to Madrid the Tuesday or Wednesday before they go to Goodison.
Yeah, it's a busy schedule, but you look at the Manchester City squad. If Grealish isn't ready, you can put Foden in, you've got Silva, you've got so many different options. So for me, I just think City are on a roll and I can't see them dropping any points.
Yeah, the thing that's quite dangerous to me when I look at that is that game against Brighton needs to be rearranged because Brighton right now are one of the best sides in the Premier League. And to go down there, especially given the fact they've got as many games going on as they have, I think that potentially outside of the Arsenal one could be the toughest one before now in the end.
Right,